that time of week again. I'm Chef Nicolas, Ganea, and let's just jump into it. Alright, let's start with the unique one. Ground turkey tofu tostada. Which isn't a tostada either, just so you know. So I got the tofu and I crumbled it up with my hands, and then I laid it out onto a paper towel so I can dry it out. Because you want to save some time in the cooking process, because then otherwise it's got water and it's cooking in some water and you're like, ah. And then I added it to the pan, and one of the key things that I had to do is use something metal. You have to use a metal spoon, not like a regular something else, because otherwise it's going to burn. So you have to constantly scrape at it, because if you don't scrape at it, it's gonna burn. Then when the turkey tofu was getting pretty close to being, done, I started adding my spices in there, and it really started to act, well, it looked like turkey. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Which had pink peppercorn, paprika, coffee, and a little bit of cumin. While the turkey tofu was just about almost done, I got some peppers and sliced them up, a medley of them. Poblano and shogo, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, it's this pepper. Sauteed that for a little bit, then added into the spices as well, and then got canned black beans. Now the cool part, which is a tostada, which is not a tostada. Since I wasn't feeling traditional, I got whole egg and added in chickpea flour, added in elderberry powder, and also added in some paprika as well. And I blanched off some Thai basil and sliced it up a little bit and then threw it in there. And then to give it the interesting flavor to it, I got fermented plum sauce and then added that in there as well. And at the end, to loosen it up, because it was pretty thick, I added some water to it, and then I just cooked it like pancakes. And I'm gonna tell you, I was really amazed about the flavor. When I tasted it, I was like, wow, this is incredible. This does not exist. Then I just plated this up with the tostada, the peppers, and the turkey tofu, and I got homemade salsa verde beforehand. I actually just roasted it and blended it and boom, 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 and done. This is a very simple dish. This is smoked duck with leeks and mushroom with sage pea puree. So let's just explain it. Okay, of course, I got duck beforehand and I deboned it, got the breast, and I smoked it in my smoker, and just a slight smoke, not like overbearingly. The smell actually started coming out when I started cooking it, well, when I started searing it and rendering out that fat. And then the smell coming out, and I was like, wow, this smells like bacon. So afterwards, I got a medley of mushrooms, and I actually got the duck fat from that render and used that to cook it with it. And then I added in sliced leeks, and it was so simple, and just a little bit of salt, and that was it. And let that go and cook down. So I didn't get that rubbly texture. I hate rubbly texture mushrooms, just saying. And for the pea puree, all I did was I got some sage, sliced that up, and I actually pan fried it, and then added into the blender with frozen peas and added some hot water to it and blended it up until it was kind of like a sauce. Not really like a pea puree, it was more like a soup. Then I just finished plating it up. Boom, 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 done. Now this chicken dish didn't turn out that bad, for what I was predicting at least. Now first I made the marinade, and instead of using regular butter, I actually used soy butter as my substitute, which is not really butter, so it's confusing, How can you be butter but you're not butter? You're lying to me. So I got my processor and got a ton of cilantro, then added in lemon zest, added some Parmesan cheese, and then some lemon juice, and then I just blended it up. And then while that was blending, I got some soy butter and I melted that and I poured it in slowly so it wouldn't lose that green color. Then I just marinated the chicken. So while that was marinating, I actually got this little triangle thing that you see here is actually polenta. Now what I did was I just brought that up with some water, then added some Parmesan cheese, and I threw that into a container so I could turn it into a brick or block, whatever. Once that was done, I squared it out, and then I seared it and turned it into triangles, and that's why it turned out like that. And for the rest of the dish, for the vegetables, I got romesco and zucchini squash, and sliced that up and sauteed it, and added a little salt. Kept it pretty simple. Well, actually no, I added some of that cilantro palm butter. It's more, I don't know how, like compound butter sort of, maybe, and just later on there to get that flavor. It was really good. Then once the chicken was marinated, I just baked it off and cooked it till it was perfect. And sliced it up. And then I just plated it up. Boom, 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 bah. Now for my last dish. Let's just keep this short and sweet. Grilled eggplant vinaigrette, which was raining again when I was grilling, of course. Brown rice pasta, sliced mixed grapes, medley of grapes. Snap peas, massaged kale, and added in the dressing. You know the drill. I'm Chef Nicolas Ganea. Don't forget to click the like button if you like this video. And if you want to follow us on our page, all you have to do is click that icon right up there, which will take you to our page, and all you have to do is click that button and hey, you're part of our page. Alright, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.